You know what you get when you get two breeds or one breed of chicken, like these Silkies, and one of them doubles in size? That's called a rooster. Silkies are hard to sex when they're young, but just about any chicken that gets big quick and has wattles, that is a rooster. Now this guy, unlike the last Silkie rooster I had about 2 months ago at the same age, this one hasn't started crowing at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't want a rooster. I've gotten rid of roosters before because you never know what you get sometimes in a batch. They're no good, but eating food and not laying eggs. But this guy's kind of cool. I think he keeps the rest of the girls in line. But I tell you what, the second he starts crowing and early in the morning, he's a gone pecan. But anyways, he's a good-looking bird. Takes care of the rest of the girls. And I got the rest of them are sex links. Red stars and black stars. Good layers right now. Actually, I hadn't seen anything come out of that little Silkie as far as laying, but I'm gonna start keeping an eye on them because they just started laying last week, eating a lot, doing well. Now, what do they eat? I would give them just about everything that comes out of the yard, or scraps, or weeds, or grass cuttings. I mean, just anything I could put in there. They're about to get this watermelon. See him? Gotta be quick. Get back in there. Watch out. Rooster, he doesn't ever come too close to me. Now, the girls could care less. I can pretty much touch them no problem and push them around, pick them up. They don't really care, but you know, he's always standoffish. I wonder what he would do if I let these chickens free range in the backyard, if he'd be aggressive or not. Silkies are cool looking chickens. I don't know how good of layers they are, but kind of neat birds. A little bit smaller than the rest of them, but as long as he's in there, I think she's relatively safe because he doesn't let too much roughhousing go on before he steps in. But anyways, I wanted to show you, I grow sunflowers, and a lot of what I do in this wild garden I got going on here really just ends up being chicken feed. Like this corn that gets blown down by strong winds and stuff, that'll be winter food. And then I do my big sunflowers. These are called Titans. Suckers are huge and full of seeds, and I'll feed those to the chickens this fall. Here's my compost pile. Got a volunteer watermelon, actually orange watermelon this year, came out of my compost. I don't know where that came from, but really sweet. I kind of gotten to where I'll just let stuff grow wild, like volunteer tomatoes. Tomatoes will pop up just about everywhere. And then here's my compost pile, and a bunch of tomatoes grew out of that too. Grape tomatoes, actually. So we like that. This is for my bulk heavy stuff, roughage, vines, hay that comes out of, or straw that comes out of the chicken coop goes into this one. And a lot of my tomatoes that are growing in the garden are volunteers from last year. But I like planting these sunflowers. They really make the garden and the yard look good for a little while, at least, before they start getting all depressed and leaning over. Come on, big guy, hang in there. That's a lot of seeds. Now back here, I do my pumpkins, and actually all these right here that you see are tomato plants, none of which I planted on purpose. I might have thrown an old tomato out here last year, and I just let them go. I hardly ever water them or anything, and as you can see, I mean, last year, right before the freeze, I pulled 2 5-gallon buckets, filled them full of green tomatoes just from this section here, wild growing. Got a couple blueberry bushes growing back here, but these pumpkins are Big Macs vines. This is one plant all through here, right back there. I tried to keep track of the tertiary vines and cut those with zero success, though this thing just took off. And all this grows in an old mulch pile. I kept getting loads of mulch and putting it back here. At one time it was probably 12 inches high, but it breaks down and creates a really great area to grow. But here's one of these Big Macs pumpkins, and that sucker is stout. He's not even, I don't know, maybe about halfway to ripe. It's the end of August right now, and I got a few more plants, pumpkin plants back here, and some sunflowers. So that's what we got going on.